The curriculum vitae of popular player Kaham Michel will not be complete until you talk about his life as a coach. Kaham Michel had his stints with Unisport of Bafa, but outstanding was Diamant of Yaoundé, and more even on a higher pedestal, Cameroon's Indomitable Lions in 1990. Kaham, also with this background, is handling youth football, his experience from Kaji Sports Academy. Let's put all of that bunch together and look at Kaham, the coach.
Let's say when I came back to Cameroon in 1980, I met Claude Zunja, who was one of my one-time classmate who was succeeding in business. Then he created Diamant of Yaoundé. So we sat down, we discussed, and then I accept, to become a coach of Diamant of Yaoundé. Then we recruit Bou Emile, Canabi, all these things. And we went twice at the cup final, Cameroon Cup final, losing twice to Today of Yaoundé, twice. And I was a new coach coming in Cameroon, but making such a good result. So they select me, to be as coach, national coach, assistant coach for the 1990 World Cup in Italy. That's how I can say that. That's how I become assistant coach for the World Cup. Going for the World Cup as an assistant coach was a great honor for me. We had a tremendous team, a very, very tremendous group with Nikomyashi, who was a very, very good physical trainer, who put the team in good shape so that we can hold on in the World Cup. And then we such talented players, all of them. We went and we did what we did. So it was a very, very tremendous and very good, exciting experience as a coach.
This was a college of trainers. How was the interaction and the relationship between this college of coaches at the time?
Let's say Nikomyashi was very smart as a coach, and he was a coordinator and the chief also of staff, but organized the work so that everybody can put his own hand and even have his own will when it comes to compose the team. So he used to ask us to go everyone and then try to do our team, and then we come in a meeting and everybody will put his own proposal on the table. Then we go around and look around and make something like a sentence,
Yes.
And say, okay, this is the team. I'm going to correct here, correct here, adjust here. Then we go to the field. That's how we used to work, and we did very well. Because at that time it was very, very difficult. The problem between players, between management, all of it was so strong that if we didn't have a very good manager, a very good relation between coaches, I believe it was not possible to make such a good, good performance. So we did it because of Nikomyashi. He was a very smart guy, and he put a lot of confidence on us, and every coach was there working for the well-being of the team, and we ended up by doing what we did, and it was very, very, very nice for every one of us.
Playing your first match against Argentina with a Maradona, with a Canigia, and so on. How did you feel and how did you handle it?
Well, we went to the World Cup knowing that we were underdog. So the result of the body, we have no record. So we went there to play the World Cup, knowing that it's going to be very, very difficult against Argentina. So Nikomyashi told us, we should work on one single thing first, the physical aspect. Because if you are physical strong, because you can want your player to be as physical strong as your opponent, just prepare yourself at that level. Then we'll see how they can beat us. And that's what we did. We were able to challenge every player on running on the field during the match. And that's what we did. Omambi came down with this heading coming from nowhere, and we regained confidence, and we end up by winning a match. Because we win a match sometimes, you need a little bit of, you need to have some chances, you need to have some luck. It's not that you are very, very powerful. But by putting down all our spirit, all our strength for the same goal, we end up by winning, by beating the Argentina. And that was a very, very, very good result. That gives us now a lot of confidence, for the following matches.
When you saw your team beat Romania, beat Colombia, how was it?
It was like a dream. We were just like dreaming. And we were even sure that nobody can beat us, that we were going to go straight to the final. Players even started to dream, everybody, because it was just moving and moving, and we kept doing the same thing. Playing with the first team, keeping Roger Miller, bringing in the 30 minutes at the end of the match, and then doing the results. Then we did it. Up to this game against England, who was a very, very strong team also. But we did some mistakes in the field, because for the defender. But that's part of the game. You cannot today name player who was so and such, but we did some few mistakes, and then we lost that game. But we were not supposed to lose the game because we had our chances. We did what we were supposed to do by scoring, but in the defensive side, we were like a little bit. Maybe we start dreaming too early, thinking that everything is going too smooth. But in football, playing against a strong team, you never end before the end. If you are not smart, sometimes you do a few mistakes and then you just lose the game. That's what we did against England. But we was not that sad because we knew that going to that part of the competition was already a very big challenge, big accomplishment. So that was a 19 World Cup. It was a very, very big experience. And up to today, we still dream about that experience. And Cameroon gained a lot of respect, around the world, coming for that African.
We'd like to share your experience with Kaji Sports Academy.
Let's say I was very lucky because after the Olympic on volley, I have to leave. Then leaving, a municipal of Bafang came to me as a president named Julia. Deji, something like that. Jonas, okay. Then he even begged me to come to Bafang to hold the team for a season. I told him I cannot move for Yaoundé. I need to realize I will just come from here, do practice, and come back to Yaoundé. They said, no problem, I need you with your name, just come over there, help us. So I went to Bafang for one season. And when I was in Bafang, I met Gilbert Kaji. And he told me about the center. He even told me, we went to a discussion. Then I told him, if I had money, I would just invest into training center because I've seen that the game of tomorrow will be into training centers. He said, come to Douala so we can discuss. I came to Douala, then we discussed. He said, okay, next year come with me. Then we discussed about Kaiser. That's how we began. And then, we went to Kaiser for almost 14 years.
But how did you manage to be able to come out with all those top talents that are known in the world today?
Let's see, it was very simple. We invest, to detect and select young players. So I went around, we have scouts around the Cameroon, who can just go here and here and say, I saw a good player here, I saw a good player there. There we were able to spend money and put them into camp in Douala 3 times a year. During Christmas, Easter, and then during the great vacation. Then from there we take our player that will enter the camp for the next year. We start doing it, but it was a lot. We have to spend a lot of money to do that, and that's how I even go up to meet Samuel Eto'o because I was turning around. Then I saw him play somewhere. I went to him. I took him. I spoke with him. Then I brought him to Kaiser. So it was a very, 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 very big, huge investment because the guy went down and built a giant infrastructure. This Kaiser. So doing school and football was the best thing you could do at that time. And then when a player came and sees the infrastructure in Kaiser, at that time, it was just to stay there with nothing. And also, we managed to have, let's say, a partner, overseas so that we can do transfer and all these things. So it was a good thing. It was a very good experience. So I have to stay there for almost 14 years. You see, that's a lot in the same team. That's why I was too happy, I haven't quite, to remain and work in some place. Even up to today, I still have my own world, a change with Mr. Kaji talking about Kaiser because we did a lot of things together.
How is it when Mr. Kaham meets with some of those his children that he trained and have become top world stars?
Oh, we kept a good relation between us, a good relationship because I knew all those players, they were 12 years old, and most of them. Kulu, Mukanjo, mother brought her from my home, they were only 12 years old. They saw me as a parent. We did no silly things at that time, so we have a good relationship. To invite me 3 times in Barcelona, I was there. I just moved over there for vacation. They are very gentle, so they are around. I'm happy to see that most of them, end up by having a very, very steady career.
You have trained senior people, you have trained young people who have become top professionals, and today you are a Secretary General in charge of the youth football. Are you seeing any hope from the horizon?
Yes, I'm very confident, regarding this new federation because, they take a risk, to create this league, youth football league. We have been asking for it for such a long time. It's good now so that we can take our youth problem in charge ourselves. We know what to do. This was our first season. FIFA is also encouraging, this politics. So I'm sure that we are going to help those teams, those players, growing up. We need more facility, more playing ground, to train. We need also to work on coaches, so that they can teach and everything together, putting together. If we are working toward the same direction, I'm sure that we are going to have a new start for tomorrow. Most of the countries in Africa are doing the same thing at this moment because they all know that by working with the young, they will build a steady team tomorrow. And then they will go to the World Cup, all these things, and then bring a lot of money, for federation.
How can we help these young children? How can we stop this exodus?
Okay, you have to know that you cannot transfer a player before the age of 18 from Cameroon. All we have to do is to, first of all, to keep working with our young, as I say, to give them playing ground and to give them good coaches to train. But we also to make sure that our professional team in Cameroon can use some of them before they can even dream to go. So it's all in the same package. If you don't have professional team, steady professional team in Cameroon who can use playing up to 18, they will look to go straight to in a neighbor country when they are going to earn more money. So there is a whole package. So if we need this football to take the very, very strong and right steady direction, we need also to think about our professional team. It should be a real professional team. We don't need to have 20, 25, even 10 of them. If they are very good and steady, they can use 30 players per team and then keep here in Cameroon the cream of our youngsters before they can even dream to move abroad. That's the problem. That's the real problem. People go away because there is no option here. So that I think that we need to encourage this system and to work hard so that football become a really strong business in Cameroon.